So the next piece of the puzzle that we want to look at is the ABCs, or your alignment, your breathing, and your coordination. So the first one, your alignment, is simply how you carry yourself throughout the day. And over time, your alignment creates your posture. So if you're interested in improving your posture, you're going to first have to take a look at what is your norm, how do you align your body, and then you're going to make small changes in your everyday. And over time, that's going to change your posture. So it's important that as we move throughout the day, that we put most of the force on our skeletal system. We don't want our soft tissue to take the demands that our skeletal system should be taking. So imagine I'm standing here, and imagine somebody is putting a force on top of my head and pushing down. I want my body in the strongest possible position to withstand that force over time. If I'm like, say, in a slump position, I'm actually not in a very strong, sturdy position. If someone would press down, I don't have much resistance other than what my muscles and soft tissues can provide. Same if I'm like, sticking my butt out, I'm like not in a position to withstand what is asked of my body. So you want your skeletal system to take a lot of the force as you move throughout the day. And so what exactly does that look like? I want you to stand up with me, and we're going to put our bodies into proper alignment. And so I want you to stand up tall and imagine somebody is pulling a string up through your head, up through your spine. And so you're going to be up tall with your head and your spine, and you want your pelvis to be neutral. And to find neutral in your pelvis, you're going to take your hands and you're going to put the pads of your hands on your hip bones, and you're going to put your fingertips on your pubic bone right there in the front, and they should be in the same plane. If you find that your pubic bone is coming forward and your hip bones are sinking back, they're not in the same plane, and that's not a neutral pelvis. On the flip side, if you push your pubic bone back and your hip bones forward and kind of flare your sacrum back here, you are also not a neutral pelvis. And so you want palms of your hands and your fingertips, so the front of your hips and that pubic bone, to be in the same plane. When you do that, your butt cheeks are nice and relaxed, and so they're neither clenched nor sticking out here. So neutral pelvis and nice soft butt cheeks is how you can find that portion of the alignment. And then staying up tall, you want to look at your rib cage. So just like your pelvis, your rib cage can also flare, and your ribs can kind of stick out and be sharp and pointy. This is probably going to be a little bit hard to see through my shirt, but imagine with me. And they can also sink into your body a little bit too much as you maybe round your shoulders or tuck your bum under. So you want to be up tall with nice soft ribs that kind of just melt into your abdominal muscles there. So you're going to be up tall here, soft ribs, neutral pelvis, and then you want to be aware of, if you're putting a lot of pressure on your toes or putting a lot of weight on your heels. You want to be on your feet in a very sturdy position as well. So if you imagine with me, if someone was looking at you from the side, kind of like you're looking at me, there should be a line that goes from my ears to my shoulders, through my hips, and through my ankles, if I am in proper alignment. And so if you have some sort of weighted strap, I'm going to use a yoga strap here. We're going to see if we can find that line. You can also use a belt or, a tape measure and kind of tape something down to the bottom. And it's probably going to be easiest if you have someone else hold this, but I don't today, so I'm just going to do the best that I can. And you're going to hold your strap right at your ears, and you want that line to go from your ears to your shoulders to your hips to your heels. If you see that your alignment is off in one direction or the other, then you can make adjustments as needed. So try and have that line all the way down through your heels, from your ear, shoulder, hips, and heels. Nice soft bum and nice soft ribs right there. And then you should know if you're in proper alignment, standing up anyways. And so you're not always just going to be standing there throughout the day though. So you might be, standing there washing dishes, or you might be like holding a baby on your hip, or you might be sitting in a chair or down on the floor playing. And you need to be aware of how you're moving throughout your entire day, not just standing. And so take a second to kind of check in with yourself and see what those positions look like. So for example, if I am sitting in a chair, and whether I'm sitting on the couch or I'm working on the computer or I'm eating dinner, am I sitting there kind of with my weight on my butt bones, my sits bones there, or am I sitting there slouched watching TV or working on my computer? Try and correct yourself in those small moments. I always find myself down on the floor in really poor alignment playing with my kids. And so like I might be down here completely tucked under and slouched and like playing Legos. And that's not a bad thing to occasionally be in those positions, but you don't want to live in that position. And so like if I was down on the floor playing with my kids, I might try and sit up tall a little bit, sit on my sits bones so that I am not compensating how my body is functioning while doing the task at hand. In particular, if you're on the floor, sometimes flexibility can be an issue. And I have found a lot of success just sitting on top of something. And so I might prop myself up a little bit so that flexibility wise, I can stay in those positions that I need to a little bit easier. And so, like I said, it's important that you can move through all sorts of different positions. It's not realistic to have perfect alignment all the time, but your goal should be to be in good alignment most of the time so that your body is not getting extra stress that it just doesn't need. And so whether you're standing up or doing dishes or working on your computer or playing with your kids, just make those small changes over time so that your body can function at a higher level. Quick edit on that last video that I just did. I realized after I filmed it that when I was doing the plump line down on the body with my yoga strap, I misspoke and I said heels when I meant to say ankles at the bottom of the alignment. And so it should be from your ears to your shoulders to your hips to your ankles, not your heels. So take note of that and make adjustments accordingly.